Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is stage 4 under 40, where we're documenting my journey with cancer. It's been a while since I posted a video, and a lot of that was just because, I've just been feeling really lousy. Haven't had a space of a few days to feel good enough to think about, creating a video. But today I actually feel good. So here's just a quick health update. Um, we finished 4 rounds of chemo. There were 2 more to go, but the doctors um, suggested we hold off on the last 2 rounds because of how hard the side effects have been hitting me. So next week was supposed to be my um, next 5th round of chemo, but we're gonna hit the pause button on that and do some scans and see where we're at with the cancer, see how things have progressed from the last time I took the scans, which was after the second round. So you guys can be praying for the results. We're hoping that the cancer shrunk, and we'll go from there. So thanks for your continued prayers and support. Well, in this video, I want to talk about what it's like to raise kids while having cancer. And the first thing I will say is, if you are going to have cancer, and if you are going to raise children, especially 3 children, ages 4 and under, my recommendation is do not do it at the same time. Don't do it. I don't recommend it. But all kidding aside, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, raising 3 kids, 4, 2, and an infant, by itself is hard. I heard someone say, raising infants and toddlers is physically more challenging, but when you're raising teenagers and adolescents, it's emotionally more challenging. Well, that's one of the reasons why it's so hard to raise young kids with cancer, because you're just so physically drained. I wake up on a typical morning and I just feel like I've been hit by a bus. So that's definitely one of the challenges, and that bleeds into other things. Like when you're not feeling great, you're just less patient. And so, it's really hard when, my kids are acting out of line, and it requires discipline. And, you don't want to come in too strong. You don't want to come in too soft. You don't want to overreact. You don't want to just ignore things. And so it's really hard to maintain that balance in the first place. But when you're just feeling depleted, it just makes it that much more difficult. And so I'm so thankful for Rachel, my wife, who's just been awesome. I just admire her so much as a mom, as a parent. It's kind of like she's raising 4 kids right now and taking care of 4 individuals, which includes me. Just because of the way she cares, she cares after me. So she's, in effect, raising 4 dependents, or caring for 4 dependents, and doing so much of that, on her own. And so I can see that this is starting to tax her. I can definitely see she's exhausted, and it's just really hard, because as a parent, you want to jump in. You want to engage your kids. You want to be involved. You want to help out. But it's just been so hard, and she's been so gracious. She's never complained. She's never pressured me. She's just been so loving, so gentle, so patient. But it's hard. You don't want, I see her in a lot of ways suffering, and you want to jump in, but sometimes you're just so out of it. So that's one of the biggest reasons why it's so hard. Physically, you're just not feeling great. You don't feel normal. but it's also hard because you miss out on that connectivity with the kids. I mean, this is how kids like to interact with people and explore the world, is through play. And you know, the way I used to like playing with them is by horsing around, getting on the floor, rolling around, wrestling with them, throwing them on the couch. And when you kind of take away that part of the relationship between a dad and his kids, you miss out on some of that intimacy, the laughter. So that part is something that I really do miss, and I find myself often just praying for the silliest small things, like, Lord, would you just give me energy for the next 20 minutes to read them this book, or to play cars with them, or to play Legos with them. And I think they definitely feel that they're missing that. They definitely feel that sometimes I feel like they're trying to ask me to play, but then they kind of don't, and they just play on their own. So that part really makes me sad. But I think the silver lining might be that, this might sound weird, but the silver lining might be that they see daddy as someone who is weak. I think in some ways I want my kids to see daddy as like the hero, strong, you know, always knows the answers, is always there to, you know, rescue them. Part of me wants them to see me that way, but I think it's also good that they see me as just really weak, and needing to depend on another power source. And there's nothing cuter. I think in some ways they're kind of learning empathy through this. Oftentimes Jaden, when he sees me taking meds, or sometimes throwing up, or you know, after I come back from a hospital appointment, Jaden will often come up to me and just say, "Daddy, feel better? Daddy, feel better?" And it's just the sweetest thing. And yeah, for him to be concerned about me and to be asking about my health and well-being, even with just those three simple words, it's just so sweet. It's just so heartwarming. Zeph, his thing, he'll ask, "Dad, how are you feeling?" And then I'll kind of respond, and he won't know how to respond back to that, but he'll always ask, "Dad, how are you feeling?" It's just cool that, yeah, they see me in my weakness, they're empathizing with me, and I hope that's something, those are traits that they can carry with them for the rest of their lives. So I hope that just gives you a little bit of insight of what it's like to be a parent while having cancer, parent of young children. It's challenging. There is some beauty to it. There is sorrow, but there is also joy, and I hope that gives you a little peek inside what that's like. So thanks for tuning in once again. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so that you can get updates as they come out. Well,